All right. This is what I wrote in an email to myself. I'm pretending that the spouse wrote this. And this is what I wrote that I think my spouse would say to me. This spouse right now. Dear Daniel, from your spouse. You don't work and make money. You don't cut the grass. You never help me when I need you. You take my dad to the airport. To take my dad to the airport. You don't help me. You said, no, I'm not taking your dad to the airport. I'm not even going with you. All right. And then, Daniel, you want me to give you sex? I am so angry at you. And that's all she would have said, right? Because this particular spouse, she's a voluntary mute. In psychology, in the psychology books I read, it says that a person that doesn't speak, they are voluntary mutes. They can speak, but they just don't say anything all day long. They don't say anything. And also they have poor communication, because sometimes she comes in here and she says something and then she turns around and I'm like, what did you say? And she just comes in, says something, and then she walks back out. And I'm like, what did she say? So I always tell her, please say Daniel. And then I look at her, and then I know I'm paying attention. I know what, I can do that. Anyway, so this is my response to her, what I would think she would have said to me. Dear spouse, 1, you didn't let me participate in naming my son. You were 8 months pregnant. And I said, spouse, please sit down. Let's talk about what we're going to name the baby. And you said, his name is blah. And then you walked away. That was totally disrespectful. 2, you didn't listen to me about the $101,000 from when you sold the condo. Yeah, I know it was your condo, but it was our money, and it was the money God had given us. And you didn't listen to me about. You only did one thing that I asked you to do. And that was 2 things. You sold the condo and get the $101,000. And 2, you got out of Miami because there was no parking, all right? 3, you refused to ask for food stamps when I had 2 jobs, $6 and $6.50. $7 $7.25 and $7.25, and the other one $6.50. I had 2 jobs. I had spoken to my coworkers. They said, even with that much money, you still qualify for food stamps. And then you refused to ask for food stamps. I didn't come to this country to ask for food stamps. All right. 4, you stay angry for weeks, spouse, and you refuse to negotiate with me. You don't even want to talk about the topics. You just stay angry. 5, you shoot down my dreams. Like I had a composting toilet dream. I wanted to make one. Then I made one for the dog. You wouldn't even let me have one for the dog. A composting toilet in the backyard. 6, you don't let me homeschool my kids. Look, I don't know when I'll be dead. One of my grandfathers died when he was 35, which means my dad was 7 years old when his dad died. So I don't know when I'll be dying, and I want to spend all my time with my kids so that I'm sure that they know the information I want to teach them, like Christianity, lawnmower repair, carpentry, the things I think are useful, because I was homeless. And I'm still homeless. If you don't have a money skill, like a mechanic, then I don't care if you have 3 doctorates. In 3 doctorates, you would be able to get a job somewhere, but it takes so many years to get that. A college degree, that's garbage. Can you earn money? Is the what I want to teach my kids. All right, so you stay angry for weeks. You shoot down my dreams of the composting toilet. You don't let me homeschool my kids. You turn my daughter against me. How? When I want to take away her Kindle because she doesn't want to do her Tai Chi Chuan exercises, then you tell me I'm going to go back to the mental hospital because I'm being too controlling. I'm pushing my kids for success. All right? I have a right to do that. Nobody else pushes them. Oh, and your idea, well, we'll get into it. You just want to let them watch TV forever and ever, you know, until they watch 47 episodes or something. So you turn my daughter against me. 8, you refuse to buy cashews for my mother. Yes, sir? Well, itching? Well, go fix it. Go put some lotion. All right, you refuse to buy cashews for my mother that was going to the airport. And you get $400 to $500 in food stamps. Now you get food stamps, right? Now that I don't work and you said you're working, you're very happy to get the food stamps. Oh, and by the way, people, when I did go to the food stamps, they said, "Where's your spouse, the female?" And I said, "Oh, she doesn't want to come here because she didn't come to this country to ask for food stamp." Well, if she doesn't want to come, then we're not going to give you any. That's what they told me. Something like that. So now you get $400 to $500 in food stamps, and you do buy garbage juices that have too much sugar, sodas with sugar. So what? So what will happen? My kids will become diabetic. Look, my mom is diabetic. My dad was. My grandpa was. My grandmother was diabetic. All of them were diabetic. All right? And you're buying garbage sodas that gets too much sugar into the body of my children. I want them to be athletes, all right? Not couch potatoes. And you buy garbage juices. And you have the money. You have the $400 in food stamps. I asked for one bottle of cashews one time for my mother to go on the airport. You know they don't give her peanuts or anything at the airplane. And you said no. You did buy them, but that was because an old man and an old woman stopped us and said, "Please buy it for her spouse." They said your name because I had chased you all around the grocery store from all the vegetable section with that bottle. "Please buy it for him," the old man said. And eventually you were shamed into buying it for me. 9, you refuse to let me put my brother's photos from Honduras in your living room. Why? Because my brother sent me photos and they're very skinny, and his children, they look very pale face, very sad. The photo really talks to you. You've seen those kids, the ones that are in worse shape are the ones that are dying in Africa with the flies on their face and so on. But my brothers in Honduras, they don't have shoes. They're very skinny. They don't have food, not enough. And then we had the $100,000. I wanted to go back there and help them, but you said no. And then their shoes, I wanted to put their pictures up here because they finally wrote to me. And you said, take their pictures down from my living room? You're mean, spouse. Now, 10, you give me horrible sex by not moving, and you made me beg for it. 3 times a month you would give it to me, and you would say, with your arms crossed and everything. 11, you don't go to the park with me, and then when you do go, you're like, "Can we go home now? Can we go home now? Are we done yet?" I mean, we've only been there half an hour, and you're already complaining. Mosquitoes, ants, I mean, you're complaining about everything. And then you say, "Why don't I go anywhere with you?" Because you complain. You complain about my driving. You complain about, you said, your relatives, they go to France, Paris, right? They go to New York. They go to the snow. They go places. And I say, well, I'm sure they're not arguing. We're arguing on the way to Walmart, so I don't go with you. You know, I don't turn on the music. You don't turn on the music, thank goodness, because we cannot stand each other's music. I put on the religious station. You put on some Spanish noisemaker. All right. You don't go to the park with me. 12. You never let me have a room until after I got Baker acted. I was a gypsy in this house, sleeping always in horrible conditions. I slept in your closet, which was, it's a room, and you kicked me out of there. I slept in the laundry room. You didn't like it. I slept in the garage. You didn't like it. Well, I didn't like it either. It was too hot. I slept in the living room. You throw me in the Baker Act hospital. And now, finally, you give me this room because you couldn't rent it. One. I mean, it's got water leaking over there. It's got some puddle or something over there. But it doesn't have a big stove. But, okay, finally you gave me this place. All right, that's nice of you. 13, you threw my things and destroyed some of them. I mean, $300 Tony Robbins CDs and DVDs, and you threw them away. I mean, you threw them on the floor. You picked them up over your head and smashed them. When you were pregnant with my son, you were 8 months pregnant, you did that. And the police, when I called them, they said, well, if you can't live together, then move out. And the only mistake I had done, what? Coming home at 11:30 at night from work, and my daughter woke up, and so you were upset that my 3-year-old daughter woke up, and you threw my CDs on the floor. And I said, spouse, it's all right. The little girl will go to sleep. She's just happy to see me. I mean, I was still in my uniform and everything. But you went berserk. You went crazy. 14, you went to the gun training class with me, but then you refused to learn to touch it, to shoot it, and to learn from the instructor. And the instructor said, I will teach both of you. I will not charge you any more money. I mean, he didn't know that you didn't speak English back then. So like, he didn't know what was the problem. And then you didn't do it. So I say, woman, will you not protect your own children from criminals? Oh no, I don't do that. I'm a woman. Yes, that upsets me. It reminds me of, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. All right, 15. You criticize my driving every time. Too slow. Well, now I don't smile. All right, so I don't go anywhere with you driving. So those were my 15 comments. Now I will go and tell you how I changed. I read a book, and now that I don't smile, you give me great sex. Thank you very much. You're finally the woman I wanted. Well, only in the bedroom. At least, well, cooking too. Cooking in the bedroom. Now I just got to get you to start talking. You don't yell at me anymore. Okay, you didn't talk. You were voluntary mute, but you do yell a lot. All right, now you're not yelling at me because I have a strong man face. I just don't smile at you. You do have a tough life. You have working, you have a job, right? You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're paying all the bills. But you did refuse to learn English from me, remember? So I put you to work. You worked as a security guard like I did. You worked as a substitute teacher like I did. And then you saw the problems I was having as a substitute teacher. And you didn't even go to the high school. You were afraid of the 4th graders. All right, so I did use tough love on you so you could speak in English with our children's doctors. You don't want to read a book with me, you know, Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. You don't want to practice your English. You don't want to talk to me in English. Then I put you to work. Because I knew that at work, you're the only Spanish woman at your job, right? You're the other one that you had to learn English. I knew you would have to learn English. You're the only one that speaks Spanish at your job. So now you speak English. Now you can talk to the children's doctors. You can make appointments. Ooh. You have a tough life because you refuse to read the Bible with me. You refuse to go to church with me. Now I don't drive. You got to drive everywhere. I mean, I still have the driver's license, people, but this year it expires, and I'm just going to cut it or turn it in. I need a ride because nobody will give me a ride to the next city. It's an hour away, and you gotta, it's a hassle to deal with the driver's license, people. I just want to hand it in, turn it in, and get an ID or something. All right, you bullied me to be a substitute teacher, and you refused to listen to my problems with those delinquents, so I got fired. You lied along with my mother in order to Baker Act me the second time. Either way, I am unemployable now. Because once you get fired from the schools, you don't get a job. And then now add that Baker Acted, well, I'm unemployable. Well, that's fine. All I do is read, learn, and teach my son. And thanks for the great sex recently. All right. Talk to you later. Enjoy your life. By the way, I do love you. Otherwise, I would have left. All right. So I don't have the money to leave. All right. But that's on purpose because I could leave. And I could have left years ago. But I had already promised that I would not abandon my children. And you chased away all my girlfriends. But I understand. Women do that. But I promised myself I would not leave my children. And that's why I am still here. You understand? We all have a cross to bear. And my cross, well, I have several. I have you and my mother, and I have the daughter, all right? All right, I didn't make an email about my mom because I'll just mention briefly here. My mother and I put her in jail. Then she threw me in a mental institution when she got out of jail. So like now we have like a ceasefire. We're not gonna irritate each other. I love you, Mimi. Wake up. That's my dog having a nightmare. Mimi, I love you. Woof, woof. Mimi. I love you. Now at night, when the spouse spends the night, several times the dog starts having these dreams. And the spouse says, why are you waking me up? Like I'm saying, Mimi, I love you. Mimi, I love you. Mimi, I love you. Just to tell the dog to calm down, And then the spouse says, I can't sleep in here. It's too hot. Well, this is called one of those air conditioners, spouse. Now, the whole house air conditioner, it's different. Somehow you feel cooler than this thing that kicks off, kicks on. You're sweaty, you're cold, you're sweaty, you're cold. Window air conditioning. All right. Take care of yourself. Be better than I am. Mother, I do love you. I hope you do get out of the hospital and come back and live with us again. I know you're in there just, 2 hours now? And nobody has returned yet, so I don't know what's going on. All right, take care of yourselves. Be better than I am. Enjoy your life. Read Proverbs, all right? And read the 10 Commandments. Number 9 says, do not bear false witness against your neighbor. All right? Don't tell lies. All right. Thank you, God, for giving me this big room and this internet. Talk to you later. Bye for now. In Jesus' name, take care of yourself. Do the will of the Father. Thank you, Jesus, for my beautiful life. You got me out of that mental institution. And I'm having fun here with my son, my dog, and this beautiful air-conditioned, spacious 13-foot by 10-foot room. 130 square feet, I think. All right. It just might be six feet high. I'm not too sure. All right. Bye.